So you probably realized already that in the last couple of weeks I didn't upload anything because, well, I was kinda busy and tired and sad. Nobody took any kind of photos of me rebuilding the whole flooring in the house, so I have to do it myself. Hey, what is good everyone, Chris here, welcome back to the channel. I am so glad to see you guys again and see your beautiful faces. And today we're talking about two cameras that I learned to love in the last month or so. And these are the Fujifilm X-S10, this small little toy, and also the Nikon Zfc. I'm very happy with, and I am trying to learn because it's a different system. And like I said, I switched to Nikon for all my professional photography, and this one will be the one that I'm shooting projects and use it as a backup for my professional work. It's this one that goes for probably street photography and stuff like that. Well, today I'm gonna do a small comparison. Don't mind the lack of numbers, and I will probably throw a few there that really matter, but I'm not gonna do a technical comparison. Mostly I'm gonna talk about the experience that I have with these two cameras and how are they fitting in my workflow and what I'm using them for, and so on and so forth. Is one better than the other? It's for you to decide. For me, they're both good, and if this is a spoiler alert, you can close this video and go watch something else. So let's start with the Nikon Zfc. This is a APS-C 20 megapixel camera. In my previous video I said 24, and I corrected myself in the comments. It's a 20 megapixel camera, another 24, and it does have all the bells and whistles that the new mirrorless Nikon cameras are coming with, the autofocus system as well as a flippy screen. It also has a lot of dials and buttons just like the Fujifilm cameras, resembling that old look of let's say cameras that can be controlled without getting into the menus, or the old SLR cameras that they were only controlled by the knobs and buttons. They all have locks. You can press the button and start turning, otherwise you won't work. These locks are working very well, and I'm super happy of how this camera feels in hand, though there is no grip right here, and that might be a downside for some of you who are looking to grip this camera just like me all day. And if you're not using a wrist strap or a hand strap, whatever it's called, and you just hold the camera by the body, it's gonna be a little bit cumbersome. You will probably be able, I'm not sure if they already released any kind of accessories for this camera, but you'll probably be able to put a thumb grip here to be able to hold it. For me, it wasn't that bad. I didn't shoot for hours, though. I just finished a engagement shoot with one of my clients, and I use this camera for that, and I'm gonna show you a few samples straight out of this camera. Now, I forgot to mention, if it sounds a little bit echoey, it's because I'm using this camera in a different way. I changed a lot of things in the studio, and we have more spaces to shoot, but nonetheless, because of the flooring, which is now planks of vinyl, it probably sounds a little bit more echoey than it used to. I'm gonna try to fix it as much as I can. So back to the camera, it does have all the bells and whistles, and it looks like an old vintage camera, and it actually feels very nice in hand, and it's small, very light. It's built out of some sort of plastic on the back. It also has metal on top. Maybe this plate right here should have been metal, because it feels more comfy to shoot with something and mount something on a tripod that doesn't have plastic on the bottom. Plus, if you're dropping it or something gets in the way and you're hitting the camera, you might crack it. I kind of take care of my equipment as much as I can, but for shooting events and stuff like that, you kind of forget about that, and you are handling the camera as better as you can without thinking about thresholds or people in your way, and that might be a thing to think about it. Also, this camera doesn't have image stabilization. The sensor is not stabilized, so you have to use stabilized lenses from Nikon. It takes all the Z mount lenses, the S lenses from Nikon, so that's a good thing. This is the kit lens, and I love it because it matches the colors on the camera, but I'm not very fond of the quality that comes out of it. I mean, it's not bad, it's definitely doable, and for let's say family shoots, for chasing kids around, for shooting your pets, for travel photography, definitely this 16 to 50, it's a go. It's pretty much small and very portable, and it fits the camera, like I said, very well. And I do like the fact that it's not heavy, but the 3.5 to 5.6 aperture, it's not, let's say, professional if you need a little bit of bokeh or depth of field or something like that. So keep that in mind. I would definitely recommend you go for a 35-1/8, which is a great lens, though it's a bit bigger, and on this body balances well, but it still creates a bit more weight, and I'm not sure if you guys are into that kind of stuff. So like I said, flip screen, very nice for shooting selfies and portraits. And if you're shooting in, let's say, a studio environment and you don't have a tethering cable, you can turn this to have your model look at the pose. And I think this is a very useful tool for content creators and those who are trying to start a channel on YouTube, or to I don't know, vlog or document their days. This flip screen, it's very useful, and combined with the autofocus system that Nikon included in the Z6 II, which is the same in this one, I think it's a great tool for content creation. Now the battery, it's a very small battery. I think this one is the NEL25, if I'm not mistaken. It's gonna be a hassle to find third-party batteries for this camera if you're not willing to go for and pay like 60-70 bucks for a new battery from Nikon, because it has been released recently, and the third-party manufacturers are still working on creating these accessories. Also, there is not much that you can buy for it. Small rig are coming these days with a new grip for the ZFC that matches the colors and everything perfectly. I already ordered one, and I'm gonna show it to you when it comes. I think JJC, also a Chinese company, has a grip for it, but it's a metal grip, and with cold weather coming, I'm kind of reluctant on using metal grips. I did on my XC3 and I didn't really enjoy them, so I ordered the one from Small Rig, which is the same price basically like the JJC that is available right now on Amazon. But other than that, there are not many accessories, at least at this point in time. We're in October 2021, depending on you're watching this video, but they will definitely come on the market soon. So this is the ZFC, and what I think this camera fits, I think it fits in any pocket for any photographer, especially if you're a Nikon shooter and you already have a lot of lenses. You can use the FTZ adapter with all the old lenses on it. Like I said, it takes full frame lenses with no problem. There is no difference in image quality, so that will probably make a lot of people happy. Now, one of my gripes for it is the fact that it doesn't have a joystick for moving the autofocus points, but I got used with the D-pad, and to be honest, I know I hate the D-pad, and I already said it many times, but maybe I should learn, you know, new skills, and maybe I should get back to this, because when I was shooting the D750, I think, I was very happy with the D-pad, and I think the D-pad on this one works very well for changing the autofocus points. I also set up my button right here for the to be the AF on button when I'm shooting autofocus continuous. If you need more details, and if you want me to do a video of how I'm setting up my ZFC, please let me know in the comments below. And while you're there, why not subscribing to the channel for videos like this, and also give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and go watch others, because we have tons in our playlist, our photography playlist. And let's get to the X-S10. The X-S10 is my favorite small camera. Same thing, it has a flip screen, and you probably already see a pattern here, probably thinking that I'm a selfie guy. I'm not. I do love the fact that I have this option of turning the screen and film myself. Besides, I forgot to tell you that the ZFC shoots 4K video up to 30 frames per second at 200 megabytes per second and H.264, I believe. I think you can outsource that to a recorder and get 10 beats out of it, something like that. But I didn't buy that one for video. I will use it on a pinch if I needed to, for a job, or if I want to talk to you guys. It's a great camera, again, to shoot videos and photos. This one, it's pretty much the same, 4K 30, 10 bit on an external recorder in terms of video, and shoots 1080p up to 240 frames per second, I believe. But there are a few things better than on the ZFC. The first and foremost is the Ibis. This one has an image stabilization. Inside the sensor is stabilized, and that is great for you know, shooting all kinds of video, and shooting let's say low light images when you need to lower the ISO to have clean images. Well, the image stabilization helps with lower shutter speeds, and it's tested, everyone loves it. I do like it as well. Another difference between these two is the fact that the ZFC doesn't have a grip attached to it, so this one has one built in, and it feels very nice in hand. It's probably the best small form factor mirrorless camera with a grip, with a built-in grip that I really loved, and probably the only one that I really enjoy shooting with. I shoot with what is it called, the Sony 7C, the A6 series, the 6400, the 6100. I didn't enjoy them much, but this one feels very nice in hand. The only problem, the only downside is that from time to time, if you have a very girthy lens, it might dig a little bit in your cuticles here, and I think it's cuticles, whatever they're called, cuticles, something like that, or your nail, and it might be, you know, a little bit cumbersome to shoot for a long time. But other than that, this grip, it's probably the best grip I've ever shoot. Now, it's a bit smaller for me. I have big hands, so the thing that I'm doing is to tuck my pinky underneath and use it as a grip. Right now it stays on my pinky, so it doesn't go anywhere, and it feels natural, and it feels beautiful in hand. You have an AF on button, dedicated button here. You also have something that the ZFC doesn't, and it's the joystick that I already said it's a gripe for me, and a thing that I would love to have on every camera. And also the EVF and the screen are pretty much the same resolution on both cameras. Like I said, this one has an Ibis. We do have only one dial, marked dial on the top of it that controls the shooting modes, and on this side right here, this one controls whatever you want to control. You can set it up to control white balance or ISO or whatever. And right here that it does have the pop-up flash that it might be useful in some situations, especially if you're shooting family photos and it's a little bit dark. This will help you get better light and better image quality, obviously, though it has that flash look, and it's even more pronounced with the pop-up flash, because it's not a flash that you can bounce. You can probably, if you're forcing into it, and put it down or put something like a diffuser on top. Also, I can show you that because I used to use it like that, and I can show you in a different video, and if you guys are interested, let me know. I love this camera because it's a bit heavier than the ZFC, but not very heavy, very portable, and again, it has all the bells and whistles that the X-T4, the big brother, has in terms of video, and the sensor is the same. The image quality, it's pretty much the same, as well as the low light performance. We do have two dials, front and back. This is a must for me, and some might use it for, you know, exposure compensation. Right here I do use it for shutter speed, and the front one for aperture. That's it's how I learned photography many years ago, and I don't want to destroy my muscle memory and relearn everything. Other than that, the battery is the old MP126S, the same battery that X-T3 and X-T2 and all other X cameras are using, except for the X-T4, and that's a gripe, because these batteries are not holding more than 250-300 shots depending on how you're shooting. I squeezed 400, and that was a stretch because I had to turn the camera off every time when I wasn't shooting. And also, this one has two buttons right here, the ISO and the Q button, that you can customize. I love the ISO button right here on top because I don't have, I'm not using this one as an ISO button, though I should. I don't even know what I'm using this one for, because I mostly shoot this camera in aperture priority these days. I love it for street photography, and with the 3314, which is a 50mm that I'm trying to learn, it feels very well. So yeah, this is pretty much in terms of ergonomy and buttons and everything else. This is a very nice sensor, like I said, stabilized 24 megapixel sensor that creates beautiful images. You also have all the film simulations that Fujifilm ever released for the X sensors, and that's a great thing because you can tweak them, you can even create yours. There is an amazing website, Fuji Daily Simulations, or Fuji Simulations Daily, or something like that, that you can basically customize the look of your images, and there are a lot of people there posting every day, tweaking all the settings, the color settings and the white balance and everything else to create new looks. So that is a very, very important thing. You can do that on the ZFC, but there are not film simulations. You have to build them yourself using the contrast and the brightness and the colors and so on and so forth, and save them. You can save them. This one has 4 custom presets that you can save right here and use them for different stuff like portraits and shootings. Also, you can use that with the custom presets inside. Now, I don't have much to say about the X-S10 because we already talked about it, and I believe it's a great camera. It does have a microphone jack input. Also, it does have a I think it's HDMI-C, if I'm not mistaken, the small one, the micro HDMI, whatever. It's the very small one. So all these features are already discussed on this channel, and I don't see a point of repeating them. Now, in conclusion, comparing these two cameras for me was very hard because I love them both, and they're pretty similar in terms of weight and in terms of look. They are doing pretty much the same things with a few differences, and here is what Fujifilm thrives a little bit. And I think that this one is a bit better if you want to advance your photography and you know, you're aiming towards becoming a professional photographer, because it has more features and will help you with more stuff. But ZFC, it's no slouch, and for me, soon this will probably be the camera to carry everywhere. I'm still looking for a lens that will help me do that. Probably will be the 28mm f2.8. I think it's the new one that they released for it, but it's not available anywhere, so I have to wait and probably use other lenses that I have, maybe a manual lens. Also, this one will stay with me because I love the image stabilization, and I love the fact that I can shoot at night, keeping that ISO down as much as possible and shoot lower shutter speeds without you know, compromising the image quality and the sharpness. So guys, I don't know what to say. If you guys deciding to go for the ZFC, keep in mind that there are not so many options available in terms of accessories. Also, Nikon is working on their lens lineup, and there are not that many lenses for it. By the way, this is an APS-C, and the lenses that they're working on are usually full frame lenses, so you can use them on this one, but I'm not sure when they're gonna start and improve the APS-C lineup in terms of lenses. Comparing to this one, there's so many lenses to choose from. The Fujifilm F2 lineup is great. They have beautiful lenses from 18 to whatever 90mm. Their f2 lenses, even a 200 f2, but all those lenses are not very expensive. They're vary in price depending on how professional they are, or how big they are, or how much glass is inside. You can also have a lot of third-party lenses from Viltrox and 7 Artisans, as well as TT Artisans. There are a lot of companies, Makey or Make, whatever it's called. This one being new, they're a little bit reluctant of start building it because they don't know exactly how it's gonna go. Viltrox already stepped forward and built a few lenses, and I already have two of them, the 24mm f1.8 and the 85mm f1.8 for the Z-mount, and they're great lenses. So that being said, which one you should choose? Well, choose this one. I think this is for you. I mean, no, this one is better. I'm just kidding. Which one you're choosing, be aware of all the quirks and perks. Also, go ahead and look at the specs if that's something that matters for you, because there are things there that might be interesting if you are a spec sheet guy. I'm not. For me, it's more about the user experience, the things that I'm feeling when I'm grabbing the camera. I believe that a good deal, the ZFC with this kit lens is around, I think, $1,100, while the X-S10, I think, with the 18 to 55 2.8 f4 is around $1,300 or $1,200, something like that. So there is not much of a difference, but if money are an issue, you should choose the cheaper one. You won't lose much. Like I said, probably the biggest deal for this one, it's the image stabilization. Other than that, you can work around all the quirks that the ZFC has in comparison with the X-S10. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully it was helpful if you were trying to decide between the ZFC and the X-S10. They're beautiful cameras with beautiful features that will help you definitely improve your photography or start into photography. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It's the only support that I'm asking for you, at least for now, and that is free. Also subscribe to the channel if you enjoy these videos, and watch more in the playlist that we have in the description below. And stay focused, my friends. Even if you are not a photographer, that is very helpful, especially with the goals and everything that we're setting up in life. Stay focused and follow the path, and I will definitely see you in a bit.